I was in Buenos Aires making a documentary called Are Disappeared, about people I knew who were kidnapped, tortured, and then killed during a right-wing military dictatorship 30 years ago. Every year, on the anniversary of the coup, thousands of people march along with the relatives and friends of the disappeared. Their presence is a reminder that the search for truth and justice must continue. But there are many in Argentina who want to forget the past, thinking that we must move on. But in order to heal, I think my country needs to more fully embrace the memory of the disappeared. They are our disappeared. Like in Germany after the Holocaust, children in Argentina need to grow up conscious of this dark chapter. This memorial ceremony was held at a school where my disappeared colleague, Jorge Chinetti, used to work.
Estamos aquí para que las nuevas generaciones conozcan el pasado, no para quedarse en él, sino para vivir la democracia presente y caminar hacia el futuro, con memoria, verdad y justicia.
Today, families still place remembrance ads in the newspaper to honor a disappeared relative. This remembrance ad was for Patricia Dixon, an old girlfriend from my university days. Patricia was almost surely taken to the ESMA, the Navy Mechanics School. The 4 huge columns have become the most visible symbol of the repression. Over 5,000 people were brought here to be tortured and then secretly detained for days, weeks, or months. Then they would be drugged and thrown alive from airplanes into the Rio de la Plata. The 4 columns now protect what is called the space for memory. For the thousands who drive by here every day, it is a vivid reminder of the terror that took over Argentina in 1976. These rare photographs were taken inside the Navy Mechanics School by a survivor who hid the negatives. They are the only known images of detainees. Photographer and human rights activist Marcelo Brodsky published them in a book called Memory Under Construction. One of these photographs is of his own brother.
Dentro de la representación he trabajado con la obra de muchos artistas, 65, son artistas de distintas generaciones que trabajan de alguna manera afectados por el mismo hecho, aportan un punto de vista diferente, original.
Many of the works of art in the book were exhibited on the 30th anniversary of the coup. One gruesome reminder was this dismembered Ford Falcon, the emblematic car used to cart away suspects in the middle of the night. The coffee cup is Navy issue, morbidly transformed. The caption under this image of the Rio de la Plata, created by Marcelo Brodsky, reads, "They threw them into the river. It became their non-existent tomb." But art exhibits close. Public memorials remain. A memory park is slowly being built overlooking the river where so many disappeared. But the park's location is out of the way, easy to avoid. Funding is uncertain, subject to political vagaries. And more recently, a stone wall was built with all the names engraved. The most striking sculpture in the park is in memory of 3 of Rafa Belaustegui's children, all of whom were taken along with their spouses. I visited it with Rafa and with his grandson Antonio, whose father is represented by one of the figures.
A mí esta obra de entrada me impactó mucho, ¿no? Bueno, sabía que era la representación de mis hijos.
Que son como unos cuerpos, pero al mismo tiempo están vacíos.
Claro. Eso transmite la idea de desaparición, desde ya.
Claro.
Queda el perfil nomás.
Y bueno, y además puesta en este lugar, el río de fondo, que es lo que sirvió de sepulcro.
For Argentina, the task of remembering is hard work. But the thousands of disappeared souls deserve no less. Each demonstration, each work of art, each poem or film is another pebble thrown into the water that reminds the country of what our disappeared stood for. and how cruelly the military disposed of them.